I can't hear sound, man. We might not be.
Might be. Okay, there. Okay, there we go. Can y'all hear us now? Why in the chat? We just been talking. We might have to start over. Did y'all hear anything we said? Okay, now they can hear. Okay. All right, so we have to start over from scratch, Dave. All right, so let's start over from scratch. We talked about a good 10 minutes, had a nice little conversations amongst ourselves. Y'all didn't hear anything, so let's start this over. Okay, so want to welcome y'all to the Clipboard. Second week. Last week we kind of just jumped on the air, just flew by the seat of my pants. I just wanted to jump in and talk about some 2K League basketball, and thought it was a pretty good idea. Dave, came to me and said it was pretty good idea if I keep doing this, and he wanted to offer, his expertise and help. So we decided to bring it back this week. Dave's going to jump in and help me with the stats. He's also going to be reading the chat. So if you guys have anything that you want to ask me about any of the breakdowns or anything that I'm doing for the Hornets, I can answer that. I will answer that if I can't answer it. Uh, just want to introduce Dave now. Everyone knows Dave does a great job for the NBA 2K community with the 2K Zone show that he produces 4 times a week, I believe, Dave, 4 times a week, and also with the 2K Zone website. So without further ado, introduce my man Dave. Uh, Dave, let them know what you got. Let them know about you and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
I appreciate that, and I'm going to say the same thing I said when nobody could hear me, in that I take full responsibility for the blow up of this production. About 30 seconds before we went live, I tried to change Coach King's entire production, and I just blew everything out of the water. And he's not very happy with me right now. I was almost the first ever to be fired before even appearing on screen. And when you say expertise, I think you're overselling me. I'm just here to read the chat. So if anybody has questions, put them in the chat. I'll read them. I'll bring them up to Coach Coach
Coach
King,
V.
because he's focused on the video. So I will monitor the chat. So feel free to put questions in there, and I will bring them up to Coach King, and it'll be a great show.
All right, let's go. Without further ado, let's get into this breakdown. We choose B5 this week because kind of a good storyline behind these two guys, these two teams, I should say. They pretty much swapped players. I swapped a few players. I know they had a little, but kind of turned into a rivalry because of that. And I believe these two teams will. I'm not going to predict whether they'll be in the playoffs or how far they'll go or how their season will turn out. But I know they have the players on both of these teams that they should be top teams in their conference or in the league. Period. But I like a few players on the team, and I just wanted to break these teams down. Uh, and then we're gonna jump right into that. Like I said, if you have any questions about the breakdowns, anything you want to see, uh, then just put it in the chat, and we'll just start it out, get the stream started. Jump ball. We'll get to the jump ball, and then I'll skip through some different things. We'll first look at Mama. Dave, well, if I'm quiet, you want to talk about some stats or something. If I say like, Mama, I'm that man. If you want to bring his stats up and things like that, while I'm just going through film, and then you feel free to do so.
You bet.
Let's look. Let's go back. First of all, like I said last week, y'all, yeah, I always like to look at. I look at this film because I'm in coach mode, so I look at first thing I look at is how the defense is playing, what they're trying to take away from the offense. That's my first thing that I always look at when I'm breaking down film. So I might switch that up because I don't want to be have the same kind of breakdowns every week. So I'm gonna try to get creative with some of these breakdowns. I don't want everything to sound the same every week because that'll become monotonous and boring. So, but I'm gonna go back with this week because I think both of these teams have the capabilities of playing good defense. So I'm gonna go ahead and start there again this week. I'm gonna rewind the track a little bit just to see what the point of emphasis is in my vision as far as what these teams are trying to do and what they're trying to take away. Didn't go back far enough. We'll just go back with this possession right here. Majestic. pop a three. All right, let's check this possession out right here. We got Kings guard on defense. Not much of a press right here coming up with Crush. Kind of can tell right here as when he's coming up the middle like that. That tells me that they want to take the ball like 2K. We're gonna talk about real life terminology. And we'll talk about 2K terminology. Guys in the 2K community their terminology is take away middle, take away hash. So the center might tell the lock to say I want you to play the middle. So the center's telling the lock play the middle. We want you to force the ball away from the middle, force it to the sideline, baseline, force them down sideline, baseline. The lock might tell the center to take away my hash. So that means you're gonna see him over here preparing to take away the hash, and he's gonna play the middle and vice versa. So the lock might say take away my middle, I take away the hash. That means he's gonna force him back to the middle. What the center will take away the middle, and he'll take the lock will take away the hash. And like I told you guys last week, real life we call free throw line right at the middle of the free throw line. That's what we call the nail. NBA coaches and college coaches, even some high school, all the way down. Depends on the experience of the players that any coach is coaching. If they have the personnel to be able to coach, different kind of exotic defenses, just defenses in general, then they would do so. But the nail is right at the free throw line. So you have a lot of coaches like Dwayne Casey. He's one of them that come to mind. He likes to force the ball to the middle, where the center to the nail. He feels like that they're. I guess his philosophy is that, but I guess he would change based on personnel. But he believes that forcing the ball to the middle and the center being there give his team a better chance to defend the penetration of the ball, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know how deep some of these coaches are, with the philosophies and how far they go with teaching these players and things of that nature. But long-winded, we'll get right back into it. But like I said, look like Crush. That's what their scheme is, to force the ball. Crush is going to take away the middle. The center going to show hash. If Bash goes this way, he'll show hash. And we got to be aware of the slip. So Crush has to be able to fight over, also while keeping his man on his right shoulder and forcing him to the sideline over here. So we'll see what happens in this situation.
Coach King.
Yes, sir.
In real life basketball, you might tend to force players to go to one side or the other as they bring the ball up. For example, if someone is weaker coming up the right side as opposed to the left side, does any of that analysis take place in the 2K league? Like, would you try and force Bash to the right side because maybe their players on that side maybe are not as good, or they're maybe weaker at shooting the ball, or maybe it's better at ball handling going one way or another? Does that factor in at all? Or
well, I'll tell you this right here. I don't think the coaches really look at it from that perspective, because you don't really. I mean, it's basic rotations in the 2K league. You get exotic defenses, in real life. You'll get different kind of exotic defenses. But when I was pointing out with Crush when he was coming up, he didn't really press the ball. You'll see a lot of teams press the ball, but they really don't try to force to a side, because most of the time point guard's going to go to the side. They're going to go to the weak side hash, where there's no, where like Simo is over here on the right side. So you the point guards tend to go up to the left side every time. Anyway, they will go up that side anyway. Which, if I was a coach, head coach in one of these leagues, head coach, I would tell my point guard, do not go down the sideline every time. I go down the middle, and then tell the hash to go wherever I want him to go, because you're already putting the guy on the sideline. So it's kind of easy to defend that if you have a good defender that can really force you to the side and keep you over there. It's kind of easy to defend that. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, so we'll continue with the film, and then we'll see what happens right here. As you see right here, I guess this is Yusuf right here is a center. So you already see that he's taking away the hash. He's showing. So we'll say that he's showing hard over here, hard hedging over here. And Crush went under the screen instead of going over. So as you see, he was able to get back on top of that. The slip is here right here. He can hit this slip, and we'll see. He's here for the slip. I don't know why he don't hit the slip. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong player. This is the defender. I'm tripping. Let me go back on here. Yeah, I'm tripping. Okay. Let me go back on that. Okay. I'm looking at the defender. Okay. So As we see right here, man, see, he should have. Let me see. Let me look back at this right quick, right here. All right, we're looking at Goofy. So back in the screen. Okay. I was trying to see if Goofy had that slip opportunity. I think he. Let me go back and look at this a little bit more. Sorry, guys. Let me go back. I got kind of confused who was on damn defense.
He missed the screen too, which put Mom in a tough spot.
Okay, so right here, Goofy should have took off. He should have took off.
Right there.
Yeah, he should have took off right here. That would have opened up either the ISO situation or that shot would have been available right there for Bash. But since he didn't take the slip, like I said, a lot of point guards, communication with their center, they want a 3 hunt. The center probably will stay up. They probably wouldn't even look for the slip as often as they should. And, that's, I don't really like that, but the 300, I'm always trying to take whatever the defense gives in that situation. But he didn't take what the defense gives, so now we're looking at 14 seconds on the shot clock. And we still trying to, the balls haven't moved off this side of the floor yet, so we still trying to get a bucket. And that leads to a turnover right there. The ball sticks to one side. Goofy never did take that strength, that slip what he should have took earlier in the shot clock. So, and now you're looking at him forcing the pass, which I don't understand why he would even try to make that pass. We still got 10 seconds on the clock. And I just would have reset it and at least bring the ball around back to the middle. I like to run some action that we call dribble at. I'm not gonna get into the action of that, but if you know anything about basketball, you can visualize what a dribble at means. And if you're looking at the hash over here, I'm gonna go back just a little. Just a little bit.
Like the corner is more open than.
Well, I'm gonna look how see, and if you look right here, if you see this right here, to me in real life, this is what you will equate to a defender turning your back. In real life, you talk when a defender turning your back to backdoor cut. He's a little high right here, but if he was to stay right here, this hash cut right here would cause so much trouble for these guys right here. He'll be open, or it'll open up this corner right here, and that's a lot of things a lot of teams don't do in the league. They don't take advantage of watching how the hash is playing, because like I say, I would take this cut right here. This is a definition of I turn my back on you, backdoor cut, but he doesn't do that. So like I say, we getting boxed up right here. He's here now. He's dropped. So that's good defense, but right here I don't understand why he makes that pass at all. So we get back in transition right here. What question you have, Dave?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, in real life, if you have your back to the guy you're defending, that's a real issue. But in the 2K league, you can afford to have your back to your defender because you could still see the entire court, right?
Right. You can, but I was saying like the position and how he was up high on if he's up high and then the offensive hash is low. That's kind of what I would use in my mind if I was explaining to a guy like this is a definition of, you turning your back on me. So I'm gonna take this hash. I'm gonna take this cut. You know what I mean? Because you're out of position. I can take this cut and open up this corner. Or if you don't, read me in time, I'm gonna be open for the dunk or the layup. And then if this corner dropped in, I'm gonna hit this corner over here. So it's just different things of manipulating defenses that we're gonna get to eventually, especially with the Hornets. It's things that I'm gonna be working with them when they come back from break. Is trying to manipulate defense into moving, and getting easy buckets in the half court instead of just dribbling in the pick and roll all day. So.
And you know what, Coach King, as good as Bash is doing with his points per game and his stats and steals and all that, his assist to turnover ratio is actually not great when you break it down. So he's turning the ball over quite a bit.
What is his assist turnover ratio?
He's at 2.54 for the season, and in this particular series he was at 2.63. So. It's one of the lower assist to turnover ratios in the league right now for point guards.
Yeah, that's like 10 assists to 5 turnovers. Yeah. This was in the transition, so I'm not gonna look at that. That's a transition bucket. Let's see half court back on with King guard back on defense. As I said again, you see Crush right here. He's playing the middle. He wants to force him over here. He's already going that direction, so it's not tough to do that. Comes back middle again. As you see again, his emphasis is to keep the ball out of the middle. He got that corner right there. The corner came up. Yeah, corner came up.
Yeah, interesting. Why he would pass out there as opposed to the corner?
Well, animation. Sometimes animation will kick in that situation. He was kind of close, so it could have got tipped. Ball could have got tipped.
What about predetermined plays? Like, was that predetermined that he's passing there no matter what, or does he have to make the read and make a decision on the fly?
You talking about on that? Let me go up back, son. You talking about on that pass to the hash?
Yeah.
I believe that he was in trouble. Didn't have anything else and just passed it. That wasn't. It definitely wasn't a play call. I want to try to get B5 on defense right quick and see what they're looking like on what they're trying to take away. All right, same situation. We'll look at what they're trying to do. Bad possession to tell because he got turned around before they even got set.
Yeah, no, that was a good play. He had the open shot and he took it, so that was smart.
Good pluck, good pluck.
That's again another turnover for Bash.
Yeah.
But you know, he is number 1 in the league in steals per game. So we should give him some props for that.
Oh, okay. How many steals he averaging?
I think he's averaging 2 or just over 2, but he is number 1 in the league.
Okay. So all right, we're gonna look at B5. Well, that's an sideline inbound. Let me go back and look at this, man. It just okay, so you got just scramble. You got 2 guarding the ball, 2 still guarding the ball. Slip is there. That's just bad defense by Bread. Yeah. Bread shouldn't have never been up here this high on the inbound play anyway. He should be back. Should be back. What's going on, Joe? So we can guarantee to see a wrap right here because he's going to the right side.
Now, why would you say that? That if he goes to the right, it's guaranteed a wrap.
You already have the hash already over here. So if he's going that way, for spacing purposes, he has to wrap.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, he doesn't. I mean, this is like I said. This is just what 2K the community, even Pro-Am, the pros. This is what they do. Like it's just an automatic. It's like there's no reading the defense. It's just we're gonna do what we're been programmed to do. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you why I say this right here. It's gonna be hard to change these guys' mindset. I went back too far, but I promise you, if I can just have like a preseason with a team for as development goes, you'll see a different thing. See, so look right here. All right. So like I said, he's automatically going to wrap because he's going to the right. So he's just like I say, spacing purposes. But this is another action that I call, like I said, a dribble at. He can dribble at this guy, and they know he's going to do this because it's been, programming these guys to wrap. You can cut. You can take this cut. You don't have to wrap. You can cut. You can just read the defense. If the defense is going to give you a cut, take the cut. It might not open up anything. The first action with your cut is the first action. You might not be open, but if you get to this paint and this center comes up, this guy has no choice but to help. So you got to pass here. The corner's still going down, so I'm just gonna take him out. But if you the point guard and you wait, just kind of take your time bringing the ball to the court in the first place, and then the corner gets settled, and then you take that cut, and then you have 2 options because one of them if they're not paying attention, they sleep. One of them gonna have to drop or it's gonna be a dunk. But it's just things like that. I just look at things. I look at every scenario, and that's just one of those things that I wish teams would change. I wish they would just start reading and taking what the defense gives instead of being robots.
So why the reluctance to do that?
It's just a comfort. It's a comfort issue, man. It's just comfort. Like I'm not knocking no coach in this league. I'm not knocking no players. I love how they play the game. I just, like I said, it's some development that needs to take place when it comes to things like that. These guys are good at what they do with the dribbling and shooting and things of that nature, and they great at that. But it still can be some more development where they can start reading the defenses better and understanding that you don't have to be a robot. But yeah, I think most teams, the players pretty much dictate on how they want to play for the most part. You know, you might have coaches that want to throw a few plays. If they believe in plays, then they throw a few plays, here and there. But it's not really. Another thing, these players don't like to be bothered when they playing. They don't like to be talked to, and they don't like secondary voices in their ear when they're playing, which is crazy.
No, I can see that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm not asking to be critical. I'm asking more out of ignorance because I
Yeah.
play, but I'm just a casual player. I don't play at the level these guys play at. So I'm just curious. Just curious.
So you basically have to go in with a game plan, and the player pretty much have to dictate how they want to play. If they want to call the plays, they call the plays, just for the sake of not being, having too many ears. I mean, too many mouths talking at the same time because they don't really like hearing all that extra stuff. So, but that. So we're looking at like I said again, that they focused on taking away this middle. As you can see, we got 3 people in the middle. We got a hash over here wide open. Wide open. And again, like you say, his awareness kicks in, he goes over to guard that hash. But again, we have a ongoing theme of what I said earlier, that if this guy just if you're not gonna if the guard not gonna communicate to the hash and be like, hey, I'm open, or the hash not gonna communicate to the point guard, I'm open, then I'm taking this cut, man. Like, it's gonna open up. It has to open up something. If you see this is what we call 3. This is a 3 gap space right there. 3 gap is what we call this. 2 gap, 3 gap, and this is too much space to not be able to do nothing with it. Either dot this hash, let him shoot, or you're going to have a hard closeout because he has no choice. If you're going to get back here, it's going to be a hard closeout. So you can kind of attack the hard closeout. Again, some with the closeouts in this game, the animations, it's not really a good closeout like in real life because you can pump and then you can go by a guy. But in 2K, if you pump, the guy still be there and then you'll run into him. So it's kind of hard to attack a closeout in 2K. I hope they fix that animation in 2K22 because that's one thing that I definitely hate in this game, amongst a lot of different things that take away from real basketball elements that they can fix and kind of improve upon. But anyway, like I said, you got 2 gap, 3 gap space over here. If he's not going to dot this right here, you got to send up above the 3-point line. There's no help here. You take this right here and you're going to get this dunk, or this guy going to drop and you're going to get this corner right here. So just like I say, things like that, but we'll see what happens. Boom, still kind of caught up in the animation. Nothing happened. We don't take advantage of that situation. We're 13 in the clock. Dribbling, and we pass to the center. He gets bailed out.
What a move. That was a great move.
That's a great move. That was a great move. So, Goofy bailed him out.
On that last play, if Bash, would you expect Bash to call the cut and tell his man to go to make that cut, or?
I mean, if it's me, that's what I'm doing. But like I said, you got to pay attention to how these guards play. Bash is a scoring first point guard. Yeah. So he probably didn't even see that. He's trying to figure out how he can get out of this conundrum that he's in. He's looking at 3 defenders in his face. He's probably trying to figure out how he can get out of that without turning the ball over. And then, probably not, like I said, trying to score, trying to see how the center going to react, if he's going to get the slip, which like I said, he passed in that situation. And Goofy got that move, the spin move that he got. But I'm going to go back a little bit and see how, because I still haven't identified how BLAZER5, B5 guard in the half court. So let me see if I can see what they're trying to do here. You either going to have, I'll stop it and say, you either going to have teams taking away the middle, which I say you have 2 options. You can say that the lock say, I'm gonna take away the middle, play the middle, center force, center play hash, or vice versa. Center lock take away hash and center play middle. It's gonna be one of those 2 in the initial pick and roll defense. It's gonna be either one of those, and then the rotation is gonna be what I said last week, which I call an X out. That's real life terminology. 2K call it a triangle. That's when the if you have, which I'll see if I see it later on, but that's if you have a guard driving or any player driving to the sideline, baseline area, and then if he gets here at the corner, if the slip or if the slip or the drive comes, the corner will pick it up, the center will go to the corner, and that's what they call triangle. But real life, we call it an X out. It usually carries on the weak side, but it's just a. If you looking at my hands right here, you see right there why they call it X out, because you have one crossing the other in a rotation. But they call it triangle in the 2K community. And if I see it, I point it out. I didn't explain that last week. I just was calling the X out. But I want to try, like I said, I want to try to marry the two terminologies, real life terminologies, to 2K, so y'all understand. And there it is, right? That's right there. That's triangle right there. So that's what they call triangle right there in the 2K community.
Okay, can you just explain how? Can you go back and explain how the corner got so open for that three? I mean, he was wide open.
Okay, so this what like I say, the rotation is supposed to be, boom, corner picks up,
Yeah.
right? It's just Brad went out of position right there.
Yeah, and the guy down in the corner, he's dropping, and that guy, the corner's going to be wide open.
Yeah, so that's an failed attempt at the triangle. Like I say, what we call X out, because he's supposed to be down here, so he can just switch with the corner, and he go to the corner here, and then the ball on ball defender stay with the ball. So or up top, however, whoever's up here, however the offense run it, but the emphasis is, like I say, to take away the cut, the drive, the slip, or whatever from this half side. The corner drop and pick up. The center would usually be, or whoever in the pick and roll would drop to the corner, and then whoever's up top would stay up top. And that's just a failed attempt at it right there. So they just kind of
that's a
got
great read by
confused.
Mama, because as soon as the corner defender started cutting the basket, he dotted the guy in the corner.
Right.
That was a great read.
So this Brad he just kind of overplayed it. I mean,
yeah,
he really was giving up two situations right, and then Mama, of course, got the behind the back, so he was able to slip through that. That probably wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have got the behind the back animation through there, because that's what got him clear. Because Brad stepped up on it. He did his job. He did step up. Yep, and behind the back really just stunned him right there, so he was out of the play right there. But then in this situation right here, instead of this guy going, it should have been, because he has no help. He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's dead. So it could have been this corner, the weak side corner pick up, Bass drop down, and then this guy come up to the hash over here. I can't even see this. Who is that? Who is it? Randoms. Okay, yeah, randoms. So is that randoms?
I think so.
I
And
can't
we should
tell
let
what it is.
Grandpa Bash know that, yes, we can see his message. He's in the chat, and yes, we can see your message. Grandpa Bash, if you have a question, or if anybody else in the chat has a question, please type it in, and I'll make sure that Coach King, it's brought to Coach King's attention.
All right, so we back. Take away that middle. Got the wrap action over at the top. Got the corner showing up on it. All right, we still on that shoulder, on the left shoulder. Got that bump still. That's what we
That's good
want. That's
defense.
great defense right there. That's exactly how you want to play that. Now let's go see what Bash could have did differently to prevent that from happening.
And we talked earlier about, Bash, as good of a season he's having. He's turning the ball over quite a bit, so if he can clean up that part of his game, he'll be really, really good.
Right. So
He
it's
already is really good.
it's about them realizing what the defense trying to do. Like I said again, we started out by saying they don't want the ball middle. They trying to the lock up top do not want the ball to go middle. They want to force you to the side. So Bass, to avoid this from happening, recognize this. Don't even get caught up in that. You bag the ball out all the way out. Don't even, you got with the behind the back, with the curve slide. Right? A lot of guards do this. They get in traffic and try to curve slide out. It's probably an accident. He probably didn't even try to curve slide. He might try to back out, and he just got the curve slide animation and just right into the guy, and then you're going to get the bump still 9 times out of 10. So that's what happened with that. Then you get the transition, and there we go. Alright, so we're going to look at, here we go with King's guard again on defense. We got Simo guarding Screddy. We got Crush back on Bash. He was able to get to the middle. No threat, reset. We got Crush on that left, that right shoulder. Now we got Seam, same philosophy. Stay out that middle. See, they're on the same page as how they want to play defense, which is encouraging to see. So, like I said, the emphasis is definitely keeping that ball out of the middle, which is what I teach and coach. I don't like the ball going middle. I want it to go to the side because reason why, if the ball gets middle, it causes too much problems. If you can't contain that ball, once you get past this free throw line, if you have no help here, it causes too much problems. And if I see a situation where I show you why, I mean, one of these guys is always going to overhelp. It's going to drop. They have no choice. They train to do it. Even if you watch NBA basketball, guys get to the paint, you see the corner. And you watch it, be like, man, damn, why you leaving the corner? Why you leaving the corner? Why you leaving that guy open like that? NBA players are trained to do that. They'd rather give up. They think this shot, even though the corner three is one of the best shots in the game, but they'd rather you drop down, help coverage, get this up, than to give up a layup or a dunk.
Yep.
So that's kind of the reason why, same philosophy with me. I think that you have better chance of guarding the ball if you send it this way because you got sideline out of bounds, which in 2K you got to probably hit this about 2 or 3 times. Back in the day we had the invisible wall where you can probably do the running man over here like 7 times before you run out of bounds. They've done better with it as of late, but you probably have to run like 2 or 3 times before you actually go out of bounds. But still, you got this as a defender, then you got this corner as a defender. So you really got 2 to 3 guys defending you. 2 or 3 defenders include this sideline out of bounds over here. So that's the reason why I like to force over because of the help, and then you don't have as much trouble guarding the paint, and then you can always send weak side help to drop down. The ball has to travel longer. If it's over here and you forced to make this pass to one of these corners it has, the ball has to travel longer versus you making a pass down here. So we teach to keep this guy in kind of like short corner area right here. I call it one stunt direction, where we'll just stunt this way. We're not even worried about the ball coming this way. This is not our job to drop down and help. We want to be here to pinch. We want to be here to to show help and then be able to get back to this guy right here. We don't want to drop or nothing like that. So one stunt direction. So if he does try to sneak this pass right here, boom, we're here to contest it. And then, like I say, we want to force the pass. If the pass is made, we want to force it over here to the corner, over here to the hash. That way we can get enough time for a defender to get back over for closeout. So that's why I like to do it. I don't like the ball going middle. It just causes too much problem. So we'll keep it moving. So we back. Let's check out B5. See, still haven't been able to identify, but it look like they're doing the same thing. They're trying to force the ball away from the middle. Same thing. Some teams doing better than others. That's a fact. So.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a nice transition.
Well, that was a great play.
And we'll look at transition defense on the next episode, but we're going to just continue to look at the defense. I haven't seen anything offensively that warrants us to break it down yet, because like I said, you're not going to see too many teams go away from the meta pick and roll. You're just not going to see it. You have a few that run some plays here and there, but
now, why don't more corners cut to the basket? Like, we see a lot of that in Pro-Am, where the corners will cut to the basket. But in the 2K League, it seems like we rarely see that, and I'm just wondering why.
it's really it's like I say it's on really on the point guard, man. The point guard, like I'm when Sherm get back, Sherman Rigby get back. That's one of the things we're gonna look at is what are we looking at when we come down the court before we cross half court? What are we looking at? What are we trying to identify? Are we just coming it down just to get in the and I'm off the Hornets right now. I'm just saying now in general. I'm asking this to myself as it pertains to the point guards in the 2K league. Is I just want to get in every last one of mine and ask them what they're looking for when they cross before they cross half court. Are they trying to identify if I do have a backdoor cut that I can call? Is there a hash cut that I can call? But like I said, that goes back to development and from the players that I've worked with in the pro-am community and the guys that I've worked with in the 2K league, is kind of a lot really don't understand like uh, the manipulation, how you manipulate a defense, or how to understand how to manipulate a defense. What would transpire after an action? You know what I mean? Like what is the next action? Like like I was saying earlier, if I send this hash cut, what are my actions? What are my 2 or 3 actions out of this action? You know, and a lot of guys, with the premeditated, they'll send a hash cut and then they'll think that the corner's gonna drop, so they'll just make the pass anyway because it's premeditated in their mind that that's what they're gonna do. Well, I'm gonna make this pass at the corner because, that's what's the odds, should happen. This guy should drop it. I should be able to hit that. But it's that, like I said, not identify, not reading what's going on when you're coming down the court. That's one thing. And then if you come down and then you doing your meta pick and roll and you're looking, then you might see a guy move, point guard, like get bashed. You might see a guy move. He might come up. He might identify that he's cheating up on the hash or something like that. Then he might call a cut or whatever. If a guy's up high, then he'll see that. Then he'll call a cut. But the guys they have to see it. They have to see it. And I see a lot of times where those things are available, but they just don't. And like I said, it depends on the point guard. Like a point guard like Bear, I think when he comes up the court, he's looking and he's seeing what his options are before he even cross half court. And if he see it, he's gonna call it. And there's just the difference between some point guards and then you have other point guards like they want to score first, so they come down and the first thought or first action is let me see what I can get in this pick and roll for myself and in the slip. If I can get something out of the slip, if I can get like that, opportunity where I can pull a little space where I can pull, get my blinders working, get a crab.
So here's a question for you, Coach King, and I'm asking this again out of ignorance more than anything. What's like when a team drafts a point guard and the point guard comes to the team and you go to market, what percentage or how much of like does the point guard come with his own playbook, so to speak, or is it really a coach that brings in a point guard and say, okay, this is what we're going to run, and try to implement the plays and get the point guard to run plays that the coach wants to? Like, how is there? Can you put your finger on kind of a percentage of point guards that do what they have done in pro-am, as opposed to coaches that come in and really implement their style on the point guard?
I would say the majority of them come in and do what they did in pro-am or what they do in pro-am. You might have you have some. I'm sure you have coach. Like I said, it's not like there's a coaches symposium where every coach get together and share their thoughts and anything like that. So I don't know what they do. I can tell you what we kind of do here what we do in Charlotte. Big West he's open to a different type of gameplay. He's open to that. It's just a matter of getting the players to do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of and not speaking on our players. You just have players that's stubborn. They want to do what they want to do. They're comfortable with doing what they want to do and trying to. It's kind of and it's kind of difficult if you don't know anything about making reads or anything like that. It's kind of difficult as a point guard in 2K to be able to do that and dribble and then make reads, multiple reads. That's why it's a simple game to where like I say, pick and roll. You either looking for the slip, you looking for the shot. You're gonna get your guy over here, the decks over here to get open. You might have him a cut. Backdoor cut. That's pretty much the offense in 2K. Unless, like I said, unless you got teams that want to run some action, and that's far in between. Like I said, you have some teams who run some simple stuff, but and and that's fine. But for the most part, yeah, the point guards they come in from pro am or if they've been in the league for a couple of years, they have their way of playing, and that's how they gonna play.
Because I remember, and I'm not picking on famous, you famous enough, but he's the only one I can think of that talked about a playbook. Like, I remember in either season one or season two, he talked about a playbook that he had of like 30, 40 plays,
Right.
which I think is great, but as you watch the teams play, you don't see 30, 40 different plays. So was it a fact that, maybe he tried to implement it, but the PGs just weren't buying in? That whole dynamic is really interesting, and Joe Vegas is commenting about that in the chat, saying that's the most difficult part in his opinion as well, is really trying to not impose a playbook on a PG, but maybe getting them to try different things.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the point guard has to be the one to buy in, and if the point guard don't buy in, then it's a wrap.
Yeah,
That's just it. If you got a point guard to be like that's reluctant to run plays, it's a wrap. But if you have one that's that's with it and willing to put the work in, like these guys they have scrim blocks throughout the day. You know,
yeah,
different teams have different times where they scrim. And that's the time to work on that kind of stuff. And I found out this year that they have a mode within the league deal where they can practice plays against the computer, which is great. You know what I'm saying? That's great. So
they're playing against AI.
yeah, a lot of teams should utilize that. I mean, they have the things there to be able to work on their game to get better. Just a matter of them want to use it or not. So just coming in and putting in that work, even when you like I said, you have scrim blocks throughout the day. Even with those scrim blocks in, if I'm the point guard of a team, I'm trying to get my team together and keep working on trying to, work on my offense to try to differentiate from other teams. Because a lot of teams can't handle that, man. A lot of teams really can't handle motion, and especially if you know how to
Yeah,
run some plays with two or three options out of it, man. You'll kill a team because they don't know how to handle it as of
yeah,
yet.
because
So
it just seems so easy to defend. I mean, if it's the same old all the time, it
yeah,
becomes so easy to defend. Like, I'd love to see, you famous enough or anybody's playbook of even just 5 plays. Just some different plays would be, and it'd be more entertaining as a viewer to watch. It wouldn't be the same thing over and over again.
yeah. If you watch like the train, like I'll say it to you like this. Like I watch basketball. So I get caught in it sometimes. I watch it as a fan. When you're watching basketball as a fan, you react to dunks, 3-point shots, steals, blocks. The action the exciting action of the game. But if you look at it like someone who has experience with coaching and just know the game, it's the things that leads up to that. It's the things that if you don't have to train how to see it, you won't notice it. That's why if you a lot of these teams they do actually run plays. It's just that they're basic, so you wouldn't see it like a team may run a cut. It's designed. It's a design cut. It's a play that they call. Like we run a play that's called. Uh, I don't want to say the name of the play. It's been duplicated. It's been duplicated a couple times by a couple of teams. But if you look at it, you probably would say that's not a play. He just ran down there and ran back up. But it's a play. So the trained eye would know that was an action. That was actual call. It was designed play. It wasn't just something that they just made it up on the fly. Which some teams do make up stuff on the fly. But
Because Joe Vegas brings up an interesting point in the chat. He's saying if players don't think coaches know what they are talking about, they're not going to listen to any new ideas.
right,
And
that's
if a
right.
coach has never played 2K or has not played or been as successful or more successful than the PG, then the PG is not going to listen to him.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that happen. That's why I'm glad I'm not in that. I can tell you one thing. These these guys at the Hornets, they trust me, and they believe in the things that I bring to the table. So that's the reason why I believe that second half of the season, you'll see some different things that's gonna take place with these guys. I've pretty much we came in and earned their trust as far as what I'm able to bring to the table. So it just I agree with Joe on that situation too. I mean I've actually the things one thing about me when it comes to plays, a lot of people know me in the community as a guy who draws up plays, whatever. I'm much more than that. That's just something that I wanted to the 2K to evolve to be able to run plays. But um, what I'm trying to say is that I actually put the time in. I didn't just draw these plays up and just decide, hey, let's go try this. No, I got. If you look back on my Twitter from the last 2 or 3 years, I've actually had chats where I've had 10, 15, 20 players in there, and we'll go in and practice these plays and make sure that they work. So that's another thing. These things that they've been tried and been activated in the pro am scene, and some on the comp level. I've had comp teams run some of this stuff, so I know they work. So that's another thing that I have to go by when it comes to this stuff. It's not just I'm just blowing smoke or just coming up with stuff and being like, hey, try this out. No, it's been tried out. I just need you to go execute it, and I guarantee if you execute it like it's, you know, because my plays are timing plays. A lot of dudes, they draw plays and they just one action. I have like 2 or 3 actions out of plays, and they're out timing, so they have to be ran the correct way for it to work. And if you don't run it the right way, it's not going to work. And that's with any play, even with the basic ones. If you don't run it right, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So back here, it looks like B5. They want to take the force ball out the middle, but it just don't look like they're really great at doing it. I want to see if there are any kind of communication breakdowns. We looked at enough of Kings Guard on defense. We see what they like to do, and they do a decent job at it. Just that it look like I'm always looking up and let me see. End of the clock here. Man, we only got through the first quarter. How long we been streaming here? Gee.
We're about an hour in, Coach King.
All right. We're gonna speed through the second quarter, then we're gonna wrap it up. I said 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but hell, I guess I might as well go ahead and just make it an hour show. Because it don't look like we're gonna have.
That was my fault again. I'm asking too many questions.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Production.
That's fine. Hey, just make sure you have more questions next week. That's all.
If you don't see me here next week, you'll know why. Coach King got fed up and said, "You're out of here, pal."
This has some more questions for us, Dave. Let's see. Half court, side out of bounds. Let's see. So right here, they just everywhere, man. They scramble. They don't know what they want to send the ball to. Like that's just
nobody's moving. Like, okay, you're trying to pick and roll, but nobody's moving.
Oh, you don't know. They train not to move a muscle now. You want to move a muscle. Don't move a muscle.
Like honestly, I could play corner. I could maneuver my man down to the corner and just stand there. I might be a mess on defense, but I can do that on offense.
Okay, see right here, that's what I was talking about earlier. About this to me. This is, and it might not work all the time, but I'm always like this, right? 16 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
8 seconds gone. You have time to send this guy. You have time to send him just to see how they going to play. You know what I mean? You have time to do this. Like I said, this is equivalent to you turning your back on me in real life. I'm going to cut it. If you're not going to hit me right here, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to signal to you. I'm going to take this cut. I'm going to see how this guy's going to react to it. He might not do anything, but if not, then that's cool. I'll just come back out. And then you can get right back into your pick and roll. But it's worth the try anytime that you got a guy that's playing help like this. And he's off, like way off.
And not only
he's
that,
baiting, he's baiting it, like I said, and that's these guys reading it. But if you just take this cut, anything can materialize over here. And like I said, if it don't anything happen, then you can just get right back into it. And we'll look at it, 15 seconds. He's still trying to get a shot off. Gets fouled.
If the center sets the pick the other way, he was standing.
Let me go back.
Facing the other way.
Let me see what you're looking at.
Then that guy can cut from the corner.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about right here?
Okay, yeah.
So you're saying if he comes up, flips over here, and set it over here?
He sets the pick for Mama, and if the hash cuts to the basket, there's a hole. I mean, Mama is wide open for an open three. If he,
Well,
because the guy guarding Mama is going to get caught in the screen.
So if he flipped this side, we're gonna deal with all types of animations. It's gonna probably take him 5 seconds just to get over and set a proper screen. If I know what you're saying. With that's how it should. You're saying that's what he should initially did this.
Yeah.
Was send it over here. And that's generally what you want to do. If a guy's trying to force you away from the middle, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to set the screen so you can go. So he's doing what he's supposed to do, which is set it over here. But the ball needs to be over here more. If they not gonna allow him to go middle, then you want to set the screen so they can go this way. Or if you want to go middle, then yeah, you can flip this and try to attack middle, you know. But you got a guy that's looking for a shot right now. So that's minute because he's looking for a shot right there.
Joe's in the chat. Both big men are beat and out of the play. He is setting to get Mama open on the hash.
Yeah. So here we go again right here. Because they don't want him. They trying to keep him way the middle. So to alleviate that, they want to set it over here so he can go hash, and that's where a lot of guys get more action. If you can get a guy caught on the screen over here, you can come down here and you can have this shot over here. If you come where he's coming out, you see the corner coming up to help.
Yeah.
And that's a bad read right there because he should have read that the corner was coming up. He could have stopped right there and pass fake that and hit that corner. Or like I say again with the situation that these guys don't like to call cuts. I mean, it just might have been on the same page. And when you run into meta pick and roll, when the first option is a lot of times it depends on the point guard. His first option might be to shoot, but the second option is gonna be to slip. And that's what they just programmed to do, man. So they just gonna do that. But like I say, if you read the situation, which is like I say, this come with development and just being able to read the defense, then you would see you can see what could open up if you just were a little bit more patient with the ball right there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I say, he knows. Mama should know once I'll show you when he gets back to the hash. He should know right here that if he's not gonna take that shot and he's this wide open, that this is what he should know right here. This guy's gonna come up, and he's got to know that. So in that situation, and if the point guard is and the center's on the same page, like he shouldn't even slip right here. But like I said, that's what they're trying to do, so that's gonna happen anyway. But if he know this corner gonna come up, he can either dot that corner. That's another cut. He can take the backdoor cut, and that's
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but like I said, that just come with development, man, and helping these guys be and reading. But like I say, when you're talking about a score first point guard who's looking to score, and then the security blanket is usually going to be the slip guy, and that's they're going to end up forcing the pass like he just did right there. Like that's just not even there at all. And he might have tried to wide and just end up widening it and ended up being a pass. But either way, it's a turnover. Yeah, I just hope to someday just be able to get to the point to where, man, it's some kind of development involved in opening up the game a little bit more. Even that, I mean, even in the pick and roll, the meta, that can even evolve. Like I said, you can run pick and roll. I mean, a lot of NBA teams they run 60%, 60 to 70% of their offense is pick and roll, but they're trying to read the options out of it though. It's multiple options. It's not always just passing to the slip. It's not always coming off the screen and shooting it. There's a situation to where, let me see if I can see a situation. Okay, like say for instance right here, we got a high ball screen. You can be patient right here, and I call this like Mama has that respect of his peers. They know he can get high. They know he can shoot. The guy went off 80 some points last year, so he has respect. So I'm gonna use the term gravity. Gravity is a term that's used in basketball where you are a threat anywhere on the court. It means that you being a guard, your ability to attract players close to you, as far out as where Mama is right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, and he's not gonna do this here because he's already going fast, full speed from one side to the other side. But just say, for instance, that he just took his time right there and used to set the screen, right? So Breadwinner has a come up. You got Bash over here already. He's playing. He's showing help like nobody's business. Crazy help. And like I said, another situation right there where boom, the cut can take place. But we're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about Mama and these guys understanding what gravity is and what their gravity can do for them and opening up the game a little bit more. All right, so back to the scenario. He set the big body screen, comes off the screen. You got Bread. He's gonna take Bread with him. I'm just giving y'all a scenario here. This is not gonna happen in this play at all. In the future, I might try to bring some YouTube clips to explain what I'm talking about. But right here, I just want y'all to picture this. Coming off, Breadwinner comes up high. Boom. So if he come around, his gravity is going to attract this on-ball defender and Bread. He's going to take both of these guys with him because he's beat. He's going to be he in this big body. This guy on-ball defender is getting caught up in here. So Bread has to step up. If he comes over here, just come to this middle point. Bash is already here. We can take Bash out of this situation. Just say Bash not here. Just say Bash hugging over here, right? Which a lot of guys do depending on, whatever the scheme is. Just say Bash is over here hugging. Mama got all this real estate right here. So if he comes over here, he's going to drag both of these guys. So that's the gravity in the pick and roll, that he's attracting both two players. That we call that taking two players with you. This is going to lead Yusuf this whole shit to slip. I mean, excuse my French, but this whole area to slip. And that's what I like to see a lot of players do too. I like them just drag players. Just take them with you, because your gravity is going. If you're a threat to score out here, you're going to take these guys with you, and that's going to open up this whole slip for Yusuf. And like I say, this guy, one of these guys, whatever they're trying to do, strong side, drop down to help, or weak side, which I'm gonna always say weak side drop. Weak side drop down to help, and that's going to open up, the corner or whatever. If the defense plays good on this end, he might drop down. He's not in a position, but if he's here, he's not going to be in a position. If this guy drops down to pick up Yusuf, if he does drag these two guys, and this guy drop and Bash is here, he's not going to be in a position to drop down fast enough to take this away. So I mean, it just puts a lot of strain on the offense. But that's not going to happen this season. Well, actually, look, see, it does happen.
Yeah, it did happen.
It does happen. But you got Goofy, he veers off from it, but it's too late. It's going to score. He should have hit that, but let's go back and look at that, because it actually did happen. But Goofy goes off from it, and let's see what Bash could have did if he just recognized that a little bit more. I think that could have turned into a crab right there if he'd have been slowed down and waited. He had randoms on his tail. Then of course you got this guy. He dropped down. Yeah. So I mean.
But Yusuf did a great job to get himself into position.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, that's what I was saying. But he took two guys with him.
Yeah, he did.
And I didn't know that was gonna happen, but yeah, I like to see more of that.
And Mama could feel comfortable taking that shot because he knows if he misses, Yusuf is there for the rebound.
Exactly.
For the putback.
Exactly. What they call freeze. So yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see more of that. A lot of guys, they don't do that. They'll dribble. Hop step, dribble, carry, slide until they get a shot, and where you can just really just take that screen, especially if the center set a hard enough screen where you can come off of it, you're gonna naturally take the two guys with you.
Yeah.
I want to see B5 back on defense, because even the game is close, so low scoring pretty much.
Yeah, two really good defenses actually.
Yeah.
And what about the size of the court? I've heard Coach King, I've heard the comment a few times that the size of the court in this game is too small. If it was bigger, there would be a lot more that you could do. How much of a factor is that? Or is this something you want to talk about in the next stream?
I can answer. I mean, I don't think the court is too small. They made it wider. I think 2K20, 19, one of those, it did really used to be constricted, but they made it wider in the last 2K. So I don't think it's too small.
Okay.
not for a video game. I mean, if this court was any bigger, you wouldn't be able to play no defense on this game. Not this one.
Yeah, well, maybe I haven't heard that about the new game, but I've heard that comment before about this game.
Yeah, in the past, it definitely was.
Yeah.
It was an issue in the past, definitely. But yeah, in this year's game, if the court was any bigger, yeah, you wouldn't be able to play no defense. All right, so we got a wrap and see how they handle that wrap. They got all ran into each other. Let's see. Wrap. The defenders, yeah. Glad to get back on top of it though.
That's good
Yeah,
defense.
Yusuf at the block. A ball. That's good defense. That's good defense. Good defense.
Yeah, he's gonna have to force it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, the center's playing really deep on this one. There's no pick and roll at all. Is that because
What?
it's final shot?
Yeah, final shot in. They probably, let me see. I don't see nobody have a badge. I don't know why teams don't do more of that, really. All right, so the ball up top and let the guard go to work. It's easy to crab players like that. So I don't know why a lot of that, but I got a few plays that I'm trying to implement with Hornets. The four flat action that try to get some guys open like that. So we'll see what happens when they come back from the break. But that's it for that, man. We've gone over time today. Like I say, we'll keep this going every week. If y'all have any specific teams that y'all want to see us break down or whatever, just either DM me or Dave, and we'll get to it. Like I said, we'll do some different things with it. Probably add some more clips or something like that I can bring in to talk about some specific actions that I may find while I'm watching some tape on these guys, and pull those up, and we can break those down as well. If y'all have any suggestions, there's a suggestion box. Same thing, just DM me or DM Dave, and we'll consider it for improving the show or whatnot. Because like I say, just talk about the same thing every week could get monotonous and get boring. Next week we'll look at. I'm gonna prep film next week. Look and see if we can find some offense. I want to try to find some teams that run actual offense, so we can look at that. I got a few teams in mind that I know that run some action. Wizards run some action. We know T-Wolves run some action. Who else that comes off the top of my head? Raptors try to run a little action.
They're not running too much this year, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's basic stuff. I mean, it's a lot of copycat going on around here too. So you'll see that I've identified about 5 teams that run that one little play that I was talking about last week. Yeah. So I've identified about 5 teams that borrowed that play, and then yeah, I'll look and see what I can find, and then we'll break some of that stuff down too, and then we'll evolve into just breaking down players, just looking at players and what their strengths and weaknesses are. We got a lot of things planned, so it won't be the same thing every week. So we'll evolve and get better. If you familiar with what I was doing last year when I was doing the breakdown, I had video clips of players and what their strengths and weaknesses are, where we might bring that back. So, but yeah, we'll do some different things to keep the excitement, and try to let y'all get a piece of my mind and what I think, because I do think differently than a lot of people in this league, and it's just the way it is. I think there's a lot of things that can be done better. So, I wouldn't say better. I just think you can not better. Let me take that away. Wouldn't say better, but I think you can add some elements
Just different, yeah.
to the league, and have it to be a little bit more, kind of guess exciting. It's exciting now. I like the gameplay this year. It's better than previous years, but B from just being a basketball head, I always say I like to see more. So a lot of people probably won't even know if you ran something. A lot of just just casual fans wouldn't even probably know what you were doing. Like I say, the casual fan eye is to catch the thrilling part of the sport, whether it be a touchdown, a dunk, 3-point line fade from the 34 feet of the Damian Lillard shooting from the half court. That thing, those are the thrilling things of sports. So casual fans see that stuff, then they're happy. So as long as they're happy, that's cool. I'm just here to try to do my part. Anything you want to say before we close out, Dave?
Well, I guess my only question is, will you have me back next week, considering I almost blew up your show? And if you have, I would be honored to come back.
I'm going to think about it, man. Think about it. Nah, of course. We're going to be back at it. We'll be back next week, same duo. We might bring a guest on or something and see if they can bring some value to it. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can bring some knowledge to the table. Then, again, you can DM me, holler at Dave on that situation, and then we'll see if we can add you to the show. I do have another box up there that I can add. I can take away the clipboard with Coach King and put another box up there. So that's what it's there. It's a placeholder for Joe. Joe, you want to come through? Walk on Warriors want to come through. Prime time, but you got to come with your A game now. You got to come with your A game. We're going to get deep around it. You got to provide something. Be different.
Right.
Dave got the stats. I got the breakdown. So what that third box going to bring? Let's figure it out.
Whoever it is, do not try and change Coach King's setup, because I guarantee you that's a one-way ticket off the show.
This works. So you did kind of help a little bit.
Setup,
This works. So we'll keep this one right here. This works. I don't know how we got it to work, but we got it to work. So we'll keep this set up. But
it's a good setup, and next time I try and change your setup, just tell me to be quiet or put me on mute or something.
all right, I'll tell you that now. Just be quiet, Dave. Next time
Thank
you're
you.
doing something.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
I can do that really well.
All right. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Like I said, we'll do this every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time right here at twitch.tv/Coach King. The clipboard with me and Dave. 2K Zone. Y'all know where to check him out at the 2KZone.com. You can catch me on Twitter at Coach King. I don't know what it is, Dave. What is my Twitter? Is it Coach King 5? I don't know what it is.
You got a 5 in there somewhere.
Coach King _ 5. And then Dave, he has 2 or 3 alter egos. He's going to tell you where to find him at.
I have multiple personalities, but my Twitter is it's right there.
Okay.
See right there? Can you see it?
Can't see it.
Right there.
Okay, gotcha.
See where I'm pointing?
Yeah, we got you. At DJ2K. Gotcha. And where else? Where else can they find you?
At the 2K Zone, THE 2KZONE.
All right. And then, is that it?
That's it for now, man. But really, this is all about you. This is the Coach King Show. So subscribe to this channel, man. Follow it, and make sure you follow Coach King.
Well,
And I said it. I wrote an article called 13. My 13 thoughts. I publish once a week, and one of my thoughts was we need more people watching this kind of stuff. Like, you got the knowledge that you have that you're sharing. You work for a team. You work for a team in the league. You're sharing your knowledge. You're not getting paid to do this.
Right.
I would like to see more than 10 people in here. Let's get 20, 30 people watching this stuff, because it's valuable stuff, man. And if anybody wants to learn and become a coach in this league or a scout, this is the place to do it, man. So we got to get some. We just got to get people in here and watching the show and learning, and everybody's gonna grow.
Yeah, and trust me, I don't get paid much to work for the Hornets. This is passion, y'all. This is straight passion. You know what I mean? So I do it for that. So I appreciate that, Dave. Definitely, I like talking about this stuff, but I don't want to talk to. I can talk to the wall about it. I do it anyway. You know what I mean? So I guess it doesn't. It wouldn't hurt if I have a camera in my face, because I talk to the wall to the TV anyway about this stuff already anyway. So doesn't matter. But yeah.
I'm just glad you got the recognition, and a team saw the value in what you can bring to the league.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll be a head coach or a GM for a team.
Yeah.
I don't know if expansion's going to happen, but I think you deserve a spot in the league as a coach or a GM or something, because you got way too much talent and knowledge to not be in the league. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate guys like you. That's why I keep doing this type of stuff. You know, I do the other stuff that I do with the Hornets because, like I say, the passion. I just love basketball, and I do have a lot of knowledge about this stuff that people just don't get. But that's fine. So
it will pay
we
off
keep
one
on.
day for you, my friend. I guarantee it. You'll end up in the league.
That's fine. I mean, I don't even. If it happens, it happens. If not, it's fine. I know Wes. He values what I do. So if I just keep working with him, for the however long. So if that's the tip of the iceberg for me, that's fine. As long as like I say, I know the impact that I've had with the team, and it's showing off and it's showing in their gameplay. So that right there is enough for me. I'm not gonna get on Twitter and talk about everything that I do. I'll never be that guy that goes on
Maybe
Twitter.
you should be.
No,
No,
I'm not.
honestly,
I'm
maybe you
not.
should be because it seems the people that do that are the people that get noticed and the people that get jobs. So maybe you need to start doing that.
Nah, that's never been me. I'm never gonna be that guy that goes on and be like, you see that right there. Of course that play I seen it because I was like, yeah, that's a fist pump for me because yeah, that's what I've been wanting to see. That's what I've been striving for. I've been wanting to see that. So of course things like that. But I'm not gonna go on Twitter and be like, yes, that's the reason why they won this game, or yes, that's the reason why they lost this game, or nothing like that. I think in due time, it'll all come out. You know what I've done and things of that nature. The right people will say what they need to say if they're real about it. I know dealing with Wes, he's a good guy and he's straightforward with me. We have a great working relationship. We talk every day, so we go over stuff every day. So it's just if when the time comes and the stuff will get out or whatever, that's fine. If it don't, whatever. I know. And these players, they'll come out someday and they'll talk about it. So that's all that matters with me, man. So whatever happens, happens. I'm just happy to be able to help a team. I've been there for a while, so that's cool with me. So, but yeah, we'll wrap it up and then we'll get back at it next Monday. Hopefully we can get 20 people in here next time. Y'all guys help me out, Joe Vegas and all you guys. I didn't get to shout out the chat to see who all in here. Let me see who is in here now. I can do it now. I don't know who is this. Marquise. We got Primetime Scott in here. We still have Joe Vegas in here. I think that's all I can recognize because we got 2Ks on here. So I appreciate you guys for being here, man. A lot. I really appreciate y'all for sticking around with the show. I wish this community was a little bit more forgiving when it comes to things like this. We should all help each other when it comes to stuff like this. But unfortunately, it doesn't. Like league players. I think league players should be in here. I think coaches should be in here. I think a lot of people should be in here. I just like I would be in their stream if they were doing anything, So, but that's just what it is. So, it's just how this community is, and I'm fine with it. So, but I'm not gonna keep y'all any longer. Appreciate y'all. Just make sure next week y'all help us out with the retweets, and we'll try to get a tweet out prior, because like I said, Dave came in and blew up the production today, so we didn't have time. We didn't have time to tweet it out earlier. So, but
my work here is done.
we'll be back next week, man. So we'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, as I always say, peace. Where's my okay? Here we go. See ya.